Do you know how cold it is right now? Do you know how cold it is? Unless you live in Canada, where else is cold like Canada? I feel like Canada is one of the coldest places on earth. Sometimes I'm like, were human beings even supposed to be living here? You can see, it's cold. So I get questions about Jamaica a lot. The girl just loves the place. There's so much I could talk about it all day, but you know, I break it up into sections so that you guys can get the gist of how I feel about there. And you know, a lot of you have questions if it's a good place to live. I see a lot of stuff about Jamaica on the news and stuff. Like the other day I saw you shouldn't go there because of all the crime and yada yada yada. To me, there's crime everywhere. The fact that I see in Canada trying to tell people not to go to Jamaica, I'm like, what about here? You think here is fine and dandy? And we're gonna be getting into that soon. I want to talk to you guys a lot about Canada. I'm a born Canadian. I've lived in different parts of the city. So a lot of the things that you may see about Canada and what they talk about, I lived in Brampton, okay? And if you're on social media, you'll see a lot of people, especially on TikTok, talk a lot about Brampton. I lived there for over a decade. Before I moved here, that's where I was living. I just feel like I know a lot about there, Toronto, just the whole city in general. I'm on the other end now. And in my 20s, before I had my children, you know, I would go out more than I do now. I would experience a lot of different people, a lot of different things. I never wanted to move to this part of the city because specifically how I would notice how the girls would react to me when I would go out. But at the same time, I feel like the places that I would go were just not really my vibe. So I would kind of blame myself because I didn't know myself like I do now. And you know, just certain places you're just not supposed to be if it's just not your vibe, because people will just automatically draw you out and treat you away because they may think something about you. And yeah, so I just never wanted to be on these ends. But I've grown, I'm different now. I don't really mix and mingle like that. Never really was a mix or mingler. But now that I visit Jamaica more often than I used to, because there was a big gap of me not going to Jamaica. A lot of it had to do with the fact that my uncle passed away, and not just the fact that he passed away, but how he passed away. So you guys have a wicked family. They did not treat him the nicest, and I found out a lot after his death, like maybe like a year ago. Basically what I could tell you is my brother, which is on my mom's side, went to Jamaica one year, and he was like, oh, my dad has a twin, right? So he was like, let me go and visit him. So my brother went to go visit him at his house, and he was told that he could not go into the room where my uncle was staying. And he was just like, why? Like, why can't I see him? You guys are just, that, you know, that's just, I was just very shocked. You know, the fact that he was just like, your uncle's here, I went to go visit him but they wouldn't let me see him. I don't remember if he said he saw him looking out the window or something. I just know the way they would treat him, guys, I'm freezing, the way they would treat him wasn't the nicest. A lot of it had to do with the fact that they thought that we had so much over here to give. Long story short, if we didn't do what they wanted us to do or acted how they wanted us to act, and if they thought that we weren't doing our part, which we were, I wasn't the type of person to be like, oh, I sent this today, or oh, I did this. I just did what I did without any explanation. I didn't specifically send it to people that they wanted to send money to, but because my uncle was no longer with us, I just did not want to go back. I did not want to see those people. I didn't even go to his funeral because my energy just didn't connect with a lot of them, so I just stay away. Hence why you see me go back and got into the kerfuffle or the arguments with my cousin that was in my house. If you haven't seen the vlog, it's in my last Jamaica vlog. But regardless of all that, and going back when I did, there is so much that I miss about Jamaica that Canada just can't give me, at least right now, and I don't see it getting any better soon. If it's the first thing, it's the weather, you guys. I miss it. You guys, my name on my channel is Tasha by Nature. I am literally myself. depending on my environment. If I'm around nature and just my element, around the sun, around the water, around the rocks, around the sand. Do I like Canada in the summer? I can tolerate it, but the summers here are just completely different. So yeah. And I miss the weather, not just because of like how I feel. It's like the things that you have to deal with when the weather also gets cold. I'm gonna have to shovel soon, you guys. It's rough to drive in the winter. I have to go get new winter tires. I have to get new winter tires. And that is not cheap. Not looking forward to that. Miss the food. I miss my food. I miss the type of food I would normally go and buy to what I would buy here. For example, I'm not in the mood to cook today, right? But I'm most likely gonna go to Subway and grab the $5.99 turkey sandwich special. Whereas if I was back home, I'm gonna go to the plaza and buy fried chicken, rice and peas with macaroni salad, but most likely ask for more macaroni salad than rice. I could go to the Jerk Man. Guys, my stomach, see? It's growling. I'm hungry. I could go to the Jerk Man and pick up some jerk chicken and bread. I could even go to the locals and buy some fruit. My food options on days like today are very scarce and they're boring. I kind of have a better selection now that I'm on this end. On my old ends when I was living in Brampton, I didn't have that many options around me. There are a lot of options, but like the quality of the food was not good over there. I don't care what nobody says. You know, the quality of food plus the service just sucks. The service in Jamaica when it comes to food is not the greatest all the time, but if I buy from the locals, I notice that it's not so bad. But if I go into certain places like the fast food, it's bad. But at least I know the food, I'm gonna enjoy it better. I miss driving in the car and just be like, oh, I want some cane today. Let me just shout out the cane man and give him my money, and he just hands me the cane and I go home and I eat my cane. Like, I love cane. Like, every time I would be out there as a little girl, my uncle would chop me up cane without even me asking, because he knows like this greedy girl wants sugar cane. I never get tired of ackee and saltfish with breadfruit. It's my favorite thing. But I notice when I go these days, I don't get it as much as I used to, because my dad is a twin, so he literally treated me exactly how my dad would. So if my dad literally dropped me at the airport, I was a very sheltered child, okay? So like my dad would just be right there at all times, just anything. And I would notice like if my dad would drop me at the airport, as soon as I reached the other end, his brother is literally right there when I walk out of the airport. I wouldn't have to worry if he was gonna be late. My dad is an on-time guy, and his brother was the same way when it came to me. He made me ackee and saltfish and breadfruit every morning one time when I was out there. One morning he switched it up. I remember he made mackerel and dumpling. It was good, but I didn't care for it to stay the same. He was like, oh, I thought you'd be bored of it. And I'm like, no, you don't have to change it. So when I go out there now, I'm just like, those are the things like I remember why it was like it was so hard for me to go back. Because even with KFC, why I love it so much, you guys always hear me talk about it, is because every time my uncle will pick me up from the airport, as soon as we get in the car, I'm thinking, I'm like, is uncle gonna ask me, is he gonna be like, do I want KFC? And he'll be like, Tasha, you want KFC? And I'll just be like, yeah, you just know that you know I want it. And you'll buy like a whole bunch of the barbecue fry and a whole bunch of the regular fry, and we'll just go home and eat. And every time he would share out my food and his food, he'd always leave me some of his, because he knows I'm greedy and I love my food. But yeah, I miss the food, you guys. You know, like Canadian KFC, if you like it, I mean, your taste palette is, I don't know. And it's not even the taste. The taste to me is okay. It's just the chicken feels mucky sometimes. It depends on where you buy it from. The best that I had in the GTA is if I went to like Jane and Finch, because they know the people that over there don't play, and they must make the chicken a little bit better. Even the Popeyes over there, it's a little bit more decent. But anywhere else, I just feel like they don't care. Like the chicken is mushy, bare floury dough. Like it's just not nice. And the fries don't compare whatsoever. Fall weather is nice, okay? But dressing for the fall can be a bit pricey. It's not cheap to buy hoodies and track pants and winter boots, scarves, gloves. I mean, like if you have like a certain style. And obviously certain name brands are more money, But to me, it is more expensive to shop for clothes in the fall and winter than it is for summer. You know, you can get away with cheaper things like tank tops and shirts and skirts and dresses in the summertime opposed to shopping for the winter. You have to be shopping for certain things for your car too, like mats. You can't just have your regular mats in your car. You need the rubber ones so that when it's slushy, it don't soak up in the car. And when you get sick, now you gotta buy more medicine. Like it's just very costly in the winter, and you're most likely gonna buy more hot chocolate, more tea to stay warm. I want to go to the bookstore to pick up a few books, so when I'm home and I'm, in my cozy vibe, I have a nice book to read. In Jamaica, I feel like it's just more cheaper for me to dress and just keep myself together. I mean, some summer stuff is expensive depending on how you dress, but to me, it can get a bit pricey just buying up all the winter gear sometimes. Overall, I just miss myself. I don't know if you'd understand that, but I really just miss me. I feel like Canada is very pissed off right now and very stressed out. A lot of Canadians are going through it. It's not easy here right now. It's really not. My heater is making a crazy noise. It gets to the point where a lot of Canadians had to change their living situations, especially if you own a home. The market sucks with house pricing, and if you have to downsize, sometimes it's changing the way you heat your house, the way you have to downsize. You can get a cheaper house if you're missing some of the things that you had in your old house. It's not nice. Like, Canadians, they're PO right now. They're stressed out. They're not themselves. A lot of them don't know how to deal with hard times, and they get upset, and they get vicious, and they get mean. I used to like be one of those people, like if I'm driving and a certain driver just pissed me off, I'd be like, yo, what is this guy's problem? And it's like, I'll be a little bit upset on the road. Now I'm just like, I don't even know what this person may be going through. I mean, still drive properly, but I don't even get upset like that anymore. You can tell they're just a lot, like, I don't know. I mentioned to you guys, like, okay, my dad is in the hospital right now, and I'm looking at the healthcare system. Sucks garbage. Okay, I mean, there are some nurses that I realize, like, they're very intuitive and they're very helpful, but say we don't go in there and make sure he eats. Mind you, my dad is older. He's like on the older side, and he clearly cannot do the things like feed himself. Like, he doesn't have his strength. They won't do it. Not only won't they do it, I noticed that they placed his tray of food on top of the garbage. It's just so off. I feel like a lot of these jobs, okay, yes, you go to school and you have the credentials, you pass the test. Just because you pass the test to be like a teacher doesn't mean you necessarily know how to deal with kids. Just because you pass the test as being a police officer doesn't mean you know like how to deal with humans and how to be logical. I just feel like a lot of times people are just going into the job for the job to make the money to pay their bills, especially these days. Like, people don't have as much love into what they do, especially here in Canada, so everything just feels so lousy. Everybody just feels like they're a robot at this point. People are complaining about AI, but now you are acting like a damn AI. Like, you are acting like you're just going to work, making your money, life is miserable, and I'm just gonna make my whole work life miserable. That's why you go to certain places and you're just like, if you don't like your job, then why are you here? I'm here because I gotta pay my bill type of attitude. Not only do I feel like this place is just bad mind, it just got worse. That's why I miss being in Jamaica, because I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I'm surrounded by bad energy of people that, it's not like they necessarily want to be like that, but the way how the place is set up right now is just goofy. It's just not it. It's not it. Like, I would never even think to buy a home in Canada like how I would before. I don't get that vibe here. I don't see myself being here and being locked to this free healthcare system that I think you know, sometimes you get things free, but is it worth it? You know, things that are free sometimes are just not good. Just remember that. Like, certain things that you get for free are, you're getting the free version. You're getting the free version, and the free version sometimes, okay, it has its good points. Like, Canada is good, right? But right now it's going through things, and being here while it's going through things is rough, and it's not nice, it's not fun. So I just miss me in general. Like, I would literally land in Jamaica and be like, okay, I feel free right now. I feel like I want to plan something. I feel like I want to eat. I feel like I'm gonna sleep in peace. I feel like I'm not gonna have all the worries that I have in Canada. And no, you can't just always run away from your problems, but if you're a Canadian, you know, it has changed. And I'm gonna do a video on that in case you are wondering what I'm talking about. Canada's going through a lot of changes, and yeah, I want to let you guys know in case you're curious about what's really going on here. And if you have certain things that you want me to talk about in the video, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. My stomach is growling. I am hungry. I am behind on Vlogtober, which was not my plan, but life is lifing. Look at me freezing. My iron is super low right now. My nose is cold, my hands are cold, my toes are cold, and I have socks on, but I'm freezing. This is not a place. Canada is not a place for the weak. Canada is not a place for people who have low iron like me. Okay, but yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure to like it, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Like, you mean you watched this whole video and you've been watching videos and you haven't subscribed to my channel? What? And if you made it this far in the video, like, you're a real one. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to share these videos because I feel like, you know, a lot of them are helpful, and a lot of people are trying to leave Canada and they're trying to find places where they can go and migrate to, and Jamaica might just be the place, and they want to know a little bit more about it. Make sure to check out one of these videos on the screen here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.